Hey guys, Speargy here, and I will be giving my preseason 2026 winner first stand rankings of the LCS teams, as I believe that this is a more entertaining way of doing it. Plus, I have a script written out, so I'm not talking on the spot and dragging the conversation. 0 teams in the LCS have kept the roster, so every team has at least one new player joining it. Rosters aren't fully confirmed yet as of the time of making this video, as they haven't officially been announced yet. But these are rumors. These rumors are more likely to be the correct teams they are joining, and so far Sheep Esports has been right. So yeah, with that out of the way, let's get started. Okay, so in last place we have Disguised. I did put Disguised higher than Dignitas in my last ranking, but that was because I didn't know who was on Dignitas' roster, and with that, I can confidently say that the Dignitas roster is better than the Disguised top roster, and the Disguised roster is going in last place. I'm sorry, Disguised Toast, for putting your team this far down, but I don't believe this roster is able to effectively stand in the top or mid part of the LCS. This team has really good players such as Castle, as he's a really good tank player and definitely can play the game. But the team brought in 2 rookies, and I don't hate rookies, but coming up from tier 2 scene, it will definitely make them seem really weak, as they've never played in tier 1. So yeah, but it's Kryra and Sahed, and apparently everyone's hyping up Sahed to be like the next Danny in the scene, as said from Cloud Sickly. But I had to see it first, and I never watched them tier 2, so I don't really know how they play, so I need some insight. But for mid lane, Call Me came from the LCK, and I feel like it's a good pickup. In the LCK, he wasn't really that strong of a player, but he did play in the ERLs before coming here, and he seemed to be performing really well until they got knocked out by Carmine Corp, if I'm not wrong. And although I think Dark Winds is better, I think Call Me will do fine. And our last player is a support role, where it will be Lions. And I don't think he's that bad of a player, but I don't think he's that good a support either. I think he's like mid-tier support, as from what I watched from him on Lion. Wow, that's a tongue twister. Lions and Lion. But his support doesn't really impress me at all, as I don't believe he can impact the map that well. So it's unlucky, but I do believe he's a good player, and I think this roster can win. But with this completely new roster, it will definitely be difficult. For our next team, it'll be Dignitas. Dignitas, similarly to Disguise, every team in the LCS has brought new players for every role, and besides top lane, everything has changed. As for top lane, Photon is staying, and Photon kind of got into the last season with his roster, but I think they'll have a better chance this time. But they will still have to work for it, as Exu is from Disguise from last season, and I believe if there ever was a time to see if he still has it in him to play well, it would be now, as all the rosters on his team are pretty good. As for mid lane, replacing Saint is Palafox, who came from Shopify Rebellion. Palafox had one of the worst splits ever last year. Okay, sorry, I got interrupted. Yeah, but Palafox had one of the worst splits ever last year, and he was underperforming in every game, and he lost to Red. He got gapped against Red Cannons, and it was actually so sad watching that game, because his team was actually trying to win. He solo lost that game, and Palafox really hasn't been in his prime ever since they won LCS back in 2023. And I believe that this year it'll be the same, where he'll be underperforming. And I really wish they did get a new player, being a rookie or something, like maybe not a rookie, but someone like Insanity coming in to replace him, as I think that player is actually better than Palafox now than he is now. But yeah. For bot lane, we have an iconic duo. I don't know if you guys were watching NRG back then, but we have FBI and Ignar. The duo who won LCS back in 2023 are back together with Palafox, and FBI just went to Worlds and showed a pretty good performance, I would say, against all Eastern teams. That was a sad draw to watch, but I think that bot lane won't be a worry, as these guys will play fine. But Ignar hasn't played for 1 whole year after he left Giant X in 2024, and so I'm a little scared of how Ignar will play, and I'm a little scared for this roster, as I feel like 3 of these 5 players are not good and or rusty and or inconsistent, so it might be a little difficult to win. I think these players can win though, so I'm really excited to see how FBI, Ignar, Photon, Palafox, XU can win. Swiffer is a good coach. He coached Team Liquid last year, leading first stand alongside with Spawn. Yeah. He also, Swiffer also brought SK their first place in the summer season in 2024. That was really surprising. He actually had Rahel on his team, so I'm really excited to see if he can finally get wins on the board for Dignitas. But yeah, let's move on to our next team. Alright, this is gonna hurt me to place, but in 6th place we have FlyQuest. I know. FlyQuest just went to Worlds 2025, and they were the split winners last year, and I put them at 6th place. Oh, I'm an idiot. Ah! I know that putting these guys this low is a crime, but seeing the other rosters, I believe that this roster is not that good after losing 3 of their best players and their coach. So, yeah. They lost Inspired, Whippo, Bucio, and they're only left with Quad and Masu. I'm not saying that Masu and Quad are bad players, but Inspired was kind of the lead shot caller on the team, where Whippo consistently was a consistent factor when playing, and Bucio had amazing engagements on the team, and so I just don't think the team can play effectively with such big roles leaving. But that's not to say this team is horrible, as this year FlyQuest has decided to opt in for bringing rookies, and I believe this is a good call for the team and region, as we are bringing in our own natural grown talent, as Gakos will be the starting top laner, as Griffin will be coming in for the jungle, and Cryogen as support. Gakos, from what I've seen last year, performed pretty well, although it was only one series I think he played with some others, as it was against VKS, so I'm excited to see how he actually plays. Griffin, he's a highly praised player, as he not only was coached by LS, but played in T1 Rookies and played in CB LoL, where he ended up placing 4th. And he definitely has a lot of talent and skill in playing the game. Quad and Masu are good players, but I do believe that they can underperform, not consistently, but they have underperformances sometimes. As at MSI and Worlds, Quad was not playing to how he was, and at MSI, Masu also wasn't playing that well. But I think these players will do fine. They will have to they will have to lead the team, as these guys are just all rookies. And lastly, our last player will be Cryogen, and he came from the Tier 2 scene and is actually a pretty high player. I heard he was the playmaker of the team, like if he was like an actual carry, as he would actually make the other team want to question themselves, as yeah. And Nuke Duck is coming on the team, and I believe this team can make top 4 from what I've seen, but from what I've seen, bringing in 3 players who haven't played in the LCS, I can't really put my faith and hope in them, but I am cheering for FlyQuest this year, so I want to see how they do. In 5th place, we have Sentinels. A lot of you guys are probably wondering why I place Sentinels higher than FlyQuest, but hear me out. The team has a lot of great players, as Impact's break time is now over, and he's playing for Sentinels, and Impact is probably one of the greatest top laners in the LCS. But recently he's been playing a little weak and not that strong, and not like he used to, but his shot calling is definitely really important. Alongside with Impact, we have Fuhi, who came from Disguise, alongside Rahel, and these two are a great duo, as Fuhi can play both Enchanters and Engagers. I really think he's great on both of them, while Rahel is insanely gifted and never makes mistakes. And when Rahel needs to carry, he will. He can carry. Like, it's actually not, yeah. So I'm not really worried about this team. Dark Wings is also a really good player, I believe, as when he joined the LCS, he didn't seem that bad as a player, and I believe he'll do better this way, as I really do love his Azir and mid lane picks. And our last player is Hambak, as Hambak came from Bro, and I don't really like this decision to bring another LCK back to NA as a jungler, as Hambak didn't really seem that impressed with me in the LCK, but who knows, with 4 players on this team who can speak Korean, maybe he'll play like he's back in LCK. And so this team is higher than FlyQuest, but I think these guys can place higher, but yeah. Also, if I place these guys any higher, you guys are gonna get your pitchforks and torches and burn me alive, though. I already know, like. In 4th place, I'll be putting Shopify Rebellion here. Shopify Rebellion kind of surprised the LCS by going 3-0 in the pick and play stage, while also upsetting Cloud9. But they showed a very disappointing performance against Red Cannons and FlyQuest and 100 Themes. This team definitely does have the skill to be up there, as with Palafox being gone, he's being replaced by Zinni, who's a very hyped-up player in the LCK Challenge League, and I do wonder how he'll play with the rest of the team. The entire roster will stay the same as Fudge, Contracts, B-Boy, and Sales will all be staying alongside Coach Revan. I believe Revan's a really good coach. And Fudge showed a very dominating split last year, as his team fighting and laning was insane, while also B-Boy and Seos are also good players, as these two players never really had a bad series last year, as B-Boy was a very consistent bot laner, but Seos, he kind of underperformed sometimes, but I think he's a great support. And I believe these players will help get Shopify Rebellion some wins next year. While Contracts is sort of a hit or miss player for me, as sometimes he'll outplay the jungler so hard and dominate the game, but also sometimes he'll just make weird decisions and run it down. So, yeah. But this team should not be underestimated, as this is the reason why I put them here. They're a really strong team, so I really hope that Revan can lead them to some wins, and I trust in him to drive these guys towards playoffs. Alright, in 3rd place, this is as high as I can put them here, but it will be Lion. A lot of you guys believe Lion is a top 2 team, but for me, I haven't really seen Zamudo play, so I can't really rank them. But anyways, Lion's gotten rid of all their players. Saint, besides Saint. As Surdy, Adi, Henna, and Lion are gone. And then I'll be replaced with Zamudo, Inspired, Berserker, and Isles. This is a very crazy team, as Inspired had a very great split last year on FlyQuest, but this team has a lot of questions. As I have not seen Zamudo play yet, so I don't really know how great that player is. While Berserker had one of his worst years last year, going like 2 wins, 18 losses in LCK. While Isles is also not a great support in my eyes. As after watching the LCS for 4 years, I have not seen Isles play that good. I think he's a bottom tier support in the LCS. I'm sorry, Oz, but I wonder how he'll work with Inspire and Berserker. Plus, after watching the FlyQuest documentary on their implosion, I believe this team might have tilting issues, as Saint has been said to tilt a lot, and I wonder how they will deal with Inspired tilting and calling everyone NPCs. But anyways, I do believe this is a good roster, so I do have some faith in Saint and Rainer as a coach. So yeah, that's all I can say for this team, and let's move on to the next one. In 2nd place, we have Cloud9, and I'm kind of sad that Loki is gone, but Cloud9 have kept 4 of the 5 players, with Loki being replaced by APA, and I think this is a good change. As APA is underrated, I believe. He's still a good player, and I believe he'll fit right in on this roster, as with Enero as the head coach. And I think this is in good hands, as Enero and I Will Dominate will be the main coaches for this season. And last year, their season looked a little messy, and I don't really know what caused them to underperform. But Genesis is a good top laner, APA is a great mid laner. He has the potential to win another title. And from watching the LCS games last year, I did notice one thing, and that was that Blabber can have some disastrous performances sometimes. I never really saw Blabber dominate in the jungle last year, and so that's kind of making me nervous. But as long as Blabber doesn't in, I believe this roster will stay top 2 for the entire year, especially with the coaching staff. So I have faith in Enero, and I Will Dominate. And in top 1, with no surprise to anybody, I think Team Liquid will win and be the best team in the LCS. Team Liquid have brought in 3 new players, with Morgan from Bro, Jose Diodo from Isurus Esports, and Quid from 100 Thieves. These 3 players are very strong, as Quid dominated the league last year and had a very strong showing at Worlds. Morgan came from Bro, and he's a top 5 top laner from the LCK. And although I don't like that they imported Morgan from the LCK, I do think he'll work fine, as Core JJ is on the team, and his shot calling, I believe, can make Morgan become a beast and dominate the game. Jose Diodo is now back in LCS after 3 years, and I'm kind of happy to see him back. But I don't really have confidence in him as a jungler. He has been gone for 3 years, but after watching a little bit of South, he's not bad by any means, and with Core and Yan re-signing, these two are really dominant bot lane, and Yan might be actually the best AD carry in the LCS. I'm really excited to see how these teams can win it all and qualify for first stand. And with Spawn's remote coaching, I wonder if this will have an effect on the team and how they play, but only time will tell, as I think Spawn's an amazing coach, and with his remote coaching, it's worked in the past, so I wonder if it'll work now. But anyways, that's it for me for my LCS tier list for 2026. I'll probably do LCK tier list and LEC again just like this, so yeah, see you guys later.